The Heinkel HE-162 was Germany's Volksjäger, or People's Fighter, developed towards the end of World War II as a desperate measure to defend the nation's skies from the Allied bomber streams. I've got a kit of one to build. Let's see what you get inside the box for your money right here on Gary's Stuff. Hi there, I'm Gary. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. Today I'm looking inside the box of the kit of the week, that kit being the Heinkel HE-162A in 1/72nd scale from AZ model. Now, if you're thinking about buying one of these, this is a very good video for you to be watching. If you'd like to see how one's put together, however, then the best thing to do is check out the build video, which will appear later this week. How will you know when it's there? Best thing to do, if you haven't done so yet, subscribe to the channel and hit that bell. Then at no cost to you, you'll be notified of all my future content as it is published. And of course, anything you like that you see on my channel, please give it the old imperial thumbs up on the like button below, because every like counts. And if you'd like to make a bit more of a concrete contribution to the channel, you can do that through super thanks, by becoming a channel member, or by using any of my online affiliate programs. So enough of all that, let's make a start and have a look inside the box of the case of the week, the Heinkel HE-162A in 1/72nd scale from AZ model. So here's the box, the Heinkel HE-162A2. They call it Salamander. It wasn't called the Salamander. From what I understand, Salamander was the code name for the wing construction, the sort of the combined wood and metal wing construction that they used in this. It weren't called the Salamander in real life. Anyway, this is the 162A or 162A2, which is the kind that actually did see service. As it says here, it's a new tool from 2022. It is code AZ7821 here, 1/72nd scale. As usual, Carlos Alonso artwork. On the side here, there's just a different colour scheme here. This is of JG1 at Lech Airfield, 1945. Some general cautions here. On the back are the three schemes in which the aircraft is delivered in this kit. This one from JG1, white or yellow 23, not quite sure which, JG1. White 1 in JG1 and yellow 5 in JG1. You'll notice there's slight differences to the layout of the camouflage, the colours that are used as well, slightly different markings. The inlets have got different colours. I don't know how realistic all of these are. I'm sure I can find out if you want to. There's all of the top and bottom halves as well. They seem actually from this just to basically just split the aircraft rather than doing that sort of clever splinter camouflage. It's just basically that's green and that's brown, end of story. So I don't know how accurate, again, that is. I'll find out. Colour scheme on here is for the light green RLM 83. I'm not sure that's RLM 83, to be perfectly honest with you. I'll find out. Brown violet RLM 81. The light blue undersides RLM 84, so it is very much a sort of kind of a standard late war scheme. Some bits in steel, mainly the exhausts here, obviously, and some bits in black, which are the exhaust shrouds here, the gun ports, and then there's going to be things like the wheels and whatever. So that's all very nice. I do like their box art on these things. Let's have a look and see what we get inside the box. It opens at the end, like so. It's a single plastic bag with everything in it. Let's have a look at what's here. So we have the grey parts on two frames. We have a single clear frame, which looks like a canopy and a gun sight. There's the decal sheet, and there is the instruction sheet here. So let's have a look at all of these in a bit more detail. Right, here's the first frame. As you can see, the fuselage halves, cockpit pieces, bits of engine detail, undercarriage doors, undercarriage legs, wheels, and some wings. These wings here are not used in this kit. That's for the Model C, the swept-backed canted wings. So you don't need this to make the A aircraft. And the second frame, again, these wings are not used in this aircraft, neither are these fins here. So on this one, you have the split tailplane with the end plate fins, and you have the wings with the turned down tips. These ones you're not going to use. In here, you've got the seat, engine inlets, guns, rockets, and bits and pieces for the inside as well. Then, as we thought earlier, the clear, I was going to say frame, sort of sprig of plastic here, has the canopy and windshield molded as one piece, and a gun sight as well. Okay, if we look at the plastic and the moldings, these are short runs, low injection pressure moldings. Yeah, the lines aren't that brilliant. They're there. They're not that wonderful. The finish, surface finish, is slightly bobbly, but not probably enough to show up once you've painted it and stuff like that. And if you're really worried, I guess you'd run some Mr. Surfacer over it and go down over it again with a bit of very fine sandpaper and then redo the lines. I'm not going to bother with that. I think it would be okay. The edges showing a slight amount of spill, a bit of flash. What I really don't like are these sort of injection gates that cover over the actual piece. Don't do undercut gates on here, which is a pity. On the, I'm not even using those wings. It's funny trying to navigate around here thinking, hey, look at this, and then actually this kit doesn't use that. The bulkheads, yeah, they look all right. They're not amazing, but they look okay. The pylons for missiles that we're not actually going to use. Again, undercarriage legs look all right. Again, it's all right. It's not amazing. The edge of this plate here, to get part of the footwell or something, is a little bit bobbly and not terribly well molded or designed actually. Where are we? The interior of the cockpit. Again, the edges are a bit flashy, a bit undefined. But again, that's part of the molding process, I think. Interior detail on the walls, very, very minimalist, and I don't know whether that's intended to be there or whether it's an ejector post rather, I should say. I'm not sure which it is. Although there's not one on this side, so it might be intentional. Who knows? Again, you can see that this part here is an ejector post and it's all a bit grubby. But my only concern here is that it doesn't interfere with this line here. I don't know whether that's the base of the cockpit and then it's got to go up here, because if it does, then that's going to get in the way and we'll have to come out. Okay, the interior of the undercarriage, it looks all very nicely moulded actually. It looks quite nice. Main gear here. Elsewhere, what have we got? The inlets for the engines. Yeah, they look all right. Basic enough, but they look okay. The seat, again, basic, but it's all right. It was an ejection seat on these, which was quite fun. It's very much fun to use it, mind you. There's a ejector pin right in the middle here, which is very, very nice. You just have to chase out these sides, so get it flat and then chase out those sides there. This main wing. Oh, look at the flash at the end of that wing. Yeah, that should sort of, you can see where the line is there. That's a little bit. But you know what? I would rather have too much plastic here than too little. I like that the tailplane is actually molded as one piece to get the dihedral right automatically, as it were. Yeah, I think, it'll do. It'll do. It's not the best, but it's by a long way not the worst. Once you have a look at the back of these parts, so you can see all of that grubby look there. That some of that's got to come out. Not these stuff right in the middle, but these edges have got to be cleared up quite a lot. But that's what you get from this kind of kit. Sadly, going back to the first frame for a minute, I'll have a look and show the instrument panel. If we can get it focused, there you go. Look at the moulding on that instrument panel. That's really nice. So I think because the instrument decals are really poor, which you'll see, I'll probably go with dry brushing the instrument panel. In which case, I really wish that gate there hadn't gone over the part. But again, you're getting what you get in a low run kit. This is the sort of thing you get. So the instruction leaflet is essentially a fold over A4, very straightforward colour print here and there. Profile of the aircraft, history in brief, in Polish or Czech, I would imagine, and in English. It's interesting, it says the Heinkel HE-162A Spatz, which is the name of it, German fighter, also known as the Volksjäger, people's fighter, which is true, or incorrectly, the Salamander. So if that's incorrect, why put that on the box? One wonders. Anyway, very, very brief history of the aircraft there. Some translation of all the symbols, of course. You could probably guess most of them, but not all of them. On this one, make new. I don't know what to make of that. Colour schemes here, they're all listed as RLM colours where they have them, and then also Humbrol references. Very interestingly, the three colours of the aircraft on the box, which are the RLM 81, 80, well they say 83, and 84, are not in these colours at all. Kind of strange. Anyway, there's a frame mat for what it's worth. These large red areas are all the bits that you're not going to use. And then the instructions themselves, they're not bad. I guess the red bits show where you actually apply glue, theoretically. There's a few decals that go on here as well that are nice. There's a decal for the seat for the harness. It's a short run kit. This is what you get. Essentially, a lot of these are really, this is a multi-use kind of kit. So for this one, for example, with the standard, if you like, wings, you could actually make it as the A9 with the butterfly wing. Apparently, you'd have to sort of figure out your own markings, of course. But there we go. That's not going to be difficult on something that was barely used anyway. Bits and pieces here. This isn't quite obvious. We'll come to that at some point, no doubt. This just says plastic. I don't know what that is. So I think you make your own little bit of something or other. We'll see how that is. All the instructions fairly straightforward. And there we go. There's the 3 view at the end to show you what it should look like ultimately. Instructions are not, in some ways, not the most helpful, it has to be said, but I'm sure we'll get by. The decal sheet is relatively basic. There's not anything in the way of stencils, but then I don't know whether there were really on the actual aircraft. Just some crosses. Actually, the swastikas are printed, which is unusual. Some squadron markings, individual aircraft markings, of course. The harness I mentioned before, the instrument panel, and some serial numbers. A fairly basic set of markings. And looking at the quality of the print, you know, it's all right. It's not the best. This is our standard 0.5mm pencil lead. You can see that sort of dotty look to it, so it's dot printed. It's not screen printed with individual colours, which is a much more expensive process. This is like 4-colour print, and you can see it again. There's that sort of texture, although it doesn't actually look too bad as a texture on the straps here. What it does mean is you get absolutely no real detail on things like the instrument panel. Nothing like that really shows up very clearly. Individual colours like the black, they're okay. They're not too bad. But fairly basic, I would say. There is, you know, it's not a bad moulding. You get used to these modern sort of low pressure, low run kits, and some of them can be a bit ropey, but this one actually looks pretty sharply molded at times. Some of the injection lines are a bit chunky, the gates are a bit chunky, but you know, generally speaking, it should be very easy to make into a really nice kit. Oddly, you do get an awful lot of other parts for other versions of the Heinkel 162 that they also sell it in different boxes. Obviously, you don't get the decals for them, but if you've got spare decals around, considering everything else is essentially a what-if model, you can make what you like, can colour it what you like from the kit you've been supplied now. So if you can't get hold of, for example, an HE-162C or D kit because you know they're just not available at the moment, or they've run out of stock, then buy a couple of the 162As and get your own decals, you know, organise some decals for it, and you've got as good a what-if kit as anyone else makes, I think. Anyway, I'm really looking forward to making it. If you're looking forward to seeing me make it, then the best thing to do is check out the build video this week and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell, doesn't cost you anything, and you will get notified of all my future content as it is published. If you like what you see, and I hope you have, then please do remember, Imperial thumbs up on the like button below there because every like counts. Thanks so much for joining me today. Hope to see you again on the channel very soon. Take good care now and goodbye.